Hey everybody, welcome once again to our Low on Health year-end review, where we go over kind of what we've done or watched or played over the last past year, the year being 2019, a very actually busy year for us, almost in every single aspect.
Yeah.
And what we're going to talk about today is going to be TV. Before we get to the actual list of stuff this year from that we watched, I want to say there was a lot of good shows this year that came out this year or that we watched this year.
What was the total number? It was crazy.
We'll go to it in a second, but the idea is we've probably watched more than we ever have domestic or English TV. English speaking TV is probably the best way to look at that.
You asked me the other day, you're like, are you happy with how much content you've taken in this year? And I'm like, no, too much.
I mean, we've easily forgot some of the series. Luckily we keep track of what we're watching.
Major ones too. We're like, oh yeah, that happened this year.
And the main thing that we noticed before we get to the list of stuff is a lot of people, when we talk to them about what they watched and haven't watched, it really comes down to what is on a certain streaming service. We find that most of the people have Netflix, so if it's a Netflix series, it of course gets more watches. Mm-hmm. But some things that are a little bit obscure, that's on the DC universe, or even on
Disney
Pop
Plus,
TV,
which is super new,
or even Disney Plus. Our main recommendation to people is see what they like, see what their friends recommend, subscribe to those things just to watch that season, just to watch that show. Of course, the business model is that you're going to subscribe to it for that first month or pay for 1 month, forget about it, have it lapse, and then you're paying for a service like you would cable. I would say just be very diligent. Make sure that within that month trial or that 1 month that you watch that show that you were looking forward to. Don't just maybe get to it. Just watch it. You wouldn't buy a DVD box set, watch 2 episodes, forget about it. No, because you would have those DVDs sitting there and you paid the hard money for that.
I'm sure plenty of people actually do that. Or don't even open them. Mister has some DVD sets in shrink wrap that I know of.
Those are displayed. Those are for collectibles items. Nonetheless,
Sure.
I would recommend some of these series, just go ahead and just make an effort to watch them. A lot of them are only 8 to 10, 12 maybe episodes. It's maybe you could easily binge them in a weekend. Just sign up for that service and just get it out of the way.
Just watch an episode every night while you have dinner or just immediately after dinner. If you can commit to just that, just 1 episode a night, you'll be surprised how quickly you get through stuff.
So we just want to definitely recommend that because a lot of things on here span a bunch of different streaming services. In which case, yes, we subscribe and unsubscribe, subscribe to side, free trial, and we're 2 people. So we can get double the free trials and stuff if we need to. Or typically you have friends and family who may have a subscription service that you could bunk it off of, which I'm not endorsing, but we all know everybody does it. So without further ado, I'm going to get to basically our main list of what we watched this year, in which case we watched 38 different different shows.
38 full shows.
Some of them,
seasons.
some of them were multiple seasons because maybe they were short, maybe 8 or only 12 episodes. But 38 different shows we watched this year, which is the most we've ever actually done.
Is it?
I want to say so. We could always look back at the numbers, but I'm just going to say it is. In which case you can see our top 5. We'll just go through my top 5 real quick. Is Genlock, which is on the Rooster Teeth network, which is obscure, but the idea is
obscure.
That's also on Roses. That's her number 2.
It's so good.
It is very good. It's a mecha anime. I mean, it's basically
a mecha anime,
but it's very, very good.
The artwork technique is the CGI modeling that a lot of things are doing now, but it's really good.
The story's good. The action's good.
Has gotten great. Yeah. The story's good, the characters are good, the action's good. There's a gender fluid character. There's just the setting's cool. David Tennant voices a character.
So it's just one of those series that it's on a very obscure network, but we really highly recommend it.
Maisie Williams, who plays Arya, voices one of the characters.
Mm-hmm. It's just a good solid series.
It's good. It's good in lots of ways.
My next 4 are just kind of random down the middle. Doom Patrol, The Boys, Carnival Row, and The Tick. The Tick was rebooted in 2016. A new season came out, and it's just very solid. It's just very funny. The Doom Patrol, Boys, and Carnival Row, it's all kind of mature stuff, but I really just like all what they did. A lot of kind of more, I'm not going to say adult content this year, but mature content, which was just nice and entertaining. For Rose, she, of course, has her number 1 as The Witcher, which we kind of watched recently, and that's on Netflix, so nobody has an excuse not to watch it.
Geralt's amazing! I love how done he is with everything all the time. It's just
There's a lot of shows
it's just a mood.
I started to watch. I would watch 1 episode or 2, and Rose wouldn't be interested in it, but sometimes after the first episode or two she would just get involved and then just end up watching it.
I'm like, I didn't want to like this. I didn't want to watch this, and then I ended up watching it.
But nonetheless, The Witcher, it is a solid series. It's not
so
in my
good.
top 5. That doesn't mean it's not good. It's just I like those more than others. You also have Good Omens, which was nice and solid.
Yeah, it was just a mini-series based on the book of the same name by Neil Gaiman about an angel and a demon and the end of the world and the nice and good prophecies of Agnes Nutter Witch. And it was just, it's funny.
And
it's funny and sweet and good.
And I want to say that one because I just want to highlight some of this stuff. I think that one is on Prime, Amazon Prime. So the idea
I don't
is,
even remember.
I want to say it is. So half the time people have an Amazon
At least
subscription to
one.
get packages. So like there's actually some content on there. I think The Boys is Amazon too. It does get very murky. I should probably notate it. But the idea is some people don't realize Amazon has shows, and some of the high shows are actually on Amazon. And everybody pretty much has Amazon, or somebody that does have Amazon. The next one was the Dark Crystal series.
Age of Resistance, and it was so good. You were just did not enjoy it at all.
From a production standpoint, great. Don't get me wrong.
He hates the Gelflings.
But like the actual just story and overall mythos, I'm not a fan of.
You don't like the ethics of the Gelflings, that they're pacifists, more or less, sort of. But I adored it because I love, of course, the original movie from back in the 80s. It was one of my favorite movies as a kid and as an adult. And the series is basically just more of the movie, but better production quality and techniques because, of course, technology has improved. And I loved it. I loved it.
Give me a second here. Just gotta check something. And then, of course, his documentarials you really much enjoyed, too.
Very much enjoyed, yeah. And that is also based on a trilogy. It's a mini-series. Is the first season of the show, which encompasses the first book, which is The Golden Compass.
But you enjoyed
revisiting the story. They did a movie of it back years ago. And now they're doing a miniseries. But this is going to encompass all 3 books rather than just the first one. So.
And what's interesting, when you look at these, we try to think of like what are original properties to a degree. Like, to me, Genlock wasn't original. Doom Patrol might not be. The Boys, I think maybe Carnival
Something
Row.
not based on pre-existing.
Yeah, it's very odd that a lot of this stuff
stories.
is kind of like pre-existing stories or comics or graphic novels. That's why, like, when you heard about 2 years ago, a bunch of people buying up showrunners and new shows being commissioned and whatnot, I want to say this was like the really first full year where we got to see the fruit of all those shows being picked up and coming out. And like the streaming wars of every single network trying to have like a premiere show that everybody wants to go to happens. In which case we'll get to some of the highlights of some of the more obscure ones. But let's just go ahead and run down this long list of series. And I'm going to, of course, just scroll through it, stop every now and then, and mention a couple things that we thought about it, which is probably going to be notated. Curious Creations, Steven Universe. We had like the final season, and then we also had like the Shippuden like Ever After series, which was interesting.
There's a movie too.
I watched
really good.
bunch of stuff this year because it was on like Netflix or whatnot. There was kind of a Carmen Sandiego reboot, which I very much enjoyed. Orville is still strong. Like we have no issue with Orville. It's just comedy gold. Umbrella Academy we really liked, like because that came out early in 2019, and we're like, wow, this is great. This is kind of harboring like basically opening up all this new TV content for the year, and we really thought highly of it. It was going to be in our top 5, top 10, and then as more and more stuff came out, it just quickly dropped.
But then it became myth.
It became rather pedestrian compared to everything else.
You got a little F there.
Myth. Dragon Prince, they did the smart thing where the first season, not that great production, and they realized the problem, they went to address it, and then it's just fine, and it is still just really, really good. Let's see, got Righteous Gemstones, American Gods. We totally forgot we watched Game of Thrones, Season 8. Like, we had done this list, and then it wasn't until somebody else brought it up, like, oh yeah, that happened this year.
Love, Death, and Robots is a series of shorts. They're all different stories, all different styles.
Yeah.
It's like the Animatrix, except it's, that's not the theme. The theme is Love, Death, and Robots, and it's really good. Like, the vast majority of those shorts are incredible.
And what's interesting is half this stuff, I want to say, is probably on Netflix. So if you ever seen any stuff thrown at you as a recommendation...
That explicitly I know is on Netflix.
So the idea is, like, some of these, if you're thinking about it, we're recommending some of them, and then they're going to throw you at Netflix will throw it at you.
American Gods was good,
Yeah, but you can definitely see there had issues. Rikula, how do you pronounce that?
Rilalakuma and Kaoru,
Which
means relax
a
bear.
cute, just stop motion
It's really
animation
adorable.
type thing. It's just great.
Super chill.
Shira continued on, in which case there were 3 seasons of Shira. It just really seems weird that there's 3 seasons.
There were 2 seasons this year.
I don't know
Season 3 and season 4. Or no, were there 3?
That's what I'm saying.
Were there?
It is very weird
don't
with the
know.
streaming services how
That
they're
one's on
producing
Netflix,
it.
too.
Yeah. Still very good. We want to highlight Black Mirror because I always thought it was interesting. This set of Black Mirror, which was only 3 episodes,
Really
nobody really died. There was no really bad thing. Yes, the usual social commentary on
Bad things
stuff.
happened, but it wasn't like, oh, this is the apocalypse.
Yeah. Tuca and Birdie is very good. Archer continues on, which hopefully I think it's ending very soon. That's kind of getting long in the tooth.
Yeah, we're getting tired of it.
Legion was meh. Florida Girls, I really enjoyed, and I think this is on Pop TV.
It's so funny. It's one of those shows that's I don't want to like it, but I like it because it's just ridiculous and so funny, and it's based in Clearwater, and you watch this show and you're like, oh, I know someone
we know
like
people
that.
like it. So that was just a fun, just kind of comedy. We probably watch more comedies.
It's on what? It's on some
Pop
really,
TV.
Yeah, some.
But I do
weird-ass
think some of these though,
obscure
if you
thing.
wanted to, that's the problem. Some of these are available on Amazon to buy per episodes or iTunes as to buy per episode, which a lot of people don't want to do, and I understand that. But finding the individual subscription services can get a little bit daunting. But just they almost always offer a free trial for a week or a month, and just make sure that you stay focused and you watch those episodes in that time frame.
Yeah. Binge watch. Just binge watch.
Carnival Row, I very much liked just because, once
was
again,
good, yeah.
it just, anything that has boobs in it, I'll probably much give a high point to.
Simple boob men.
Yep. Final Space continues on, Disenchantment continues on, all still solid. Mandalorian we watched, which was very good. It was really cool to kind of see that expanded universe. Very much enjoyed it, kind of interested to see where it goes.
I didn't expect to like it that much.
Undone was
I did.
also another one. I think it's also Amazon, which was very artsy. It has that Skinner Darkly filter thing
It was
imaging
really
over it.
neat.
It's very thought provoking.
It was very neat. Yeah. They rotoscope for the animation, which is really cool to see because you don't see a lot of stuff do that anymore.
Yeah, so I mean, those are the 38 series. It was just more than usual, and who knows, there's going to be more next year that we're looking forward to. But what's interesting is once again, the services, let's say Disney Plus, you got it for Mandalorian. Great. What other series after Mandalorian? Okay, you have the Avengers, the Falcon and Winter Soldier. When's that happening? We don't know. I got a new iPhone this year, a new old iPhone this year, and it came with Apple TV Plus, which has 4 series that I'm not interested in at all. Maybe that's why they're giving it away for free. I don't know. But yeah, no, we very much really enjoyed just all the available TV content this year.
There was a
and,
lot.
If you're thinking about maybe watching something or you kind of missed out on something and you see it in our list or in our top 5, that is what we're definitely recommending doing. And yes, if the barrier to entry is the pay or the monthly subscription, just be diligent on it. Or if you want to, throw the money to the companies and just make sure you don't renew it. It just takes a little bit of, common sense and just foresight.
Did TV shows outstrip movies this year? We
No.
watched.
No.
As far as ones that were really good though.
Oh, pound for pound? Maybe.
Pound for pound, I think TV hit it out of the park. Whereas movies, we watched a ton, but
Yeah, I would
I think
probably agree
TV
with
content
that.
was better.
You can't go hour per hour, but if you went just on a curve, yeah, I want to say TV this year probably was
I'm just
better
talking
than
about
movies.
quality.
Yeah. But yeah, that's going to be it for our TV. As always, thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you next time.